It is a chilly morning here in the mountains of southern Appalachia. Even though it's kind of chilly out here, I'm freezing. Matt says he's already been sitting in a deer stand this morning, so this is nothing to him. It's warmed up, of course, from when he first got up there and sit down. I think it was in the, what'd you say it was, 36?
Yeah.
36 is probably in the low 40s now, mid 40s, something like that. Anyway, we've come out to see what we can do. Good to be out in the fresh air. Even the cold air always makes you feel better. Makes me sleep really good. Makes me sleep better. We're going to clean out some of the beds here that we left. The last time we were cleaning out, mostly focusing on the tomatoes and stuff. In these beds, we had already pulled out the cucumbers, which is what we were growing there to eat, but all of my nasturtiums are still there, so we're going to work on that. We're going to work on the pots in front of the greenhouse and maybe even try to straighten up the inside of the greenhouse. Matt's pulling out the nasturtiums. Here's some of the seeds. I've already collected some, but can't hardly resist not getting more. There's some that's already fallen off into the yard. Actually, a whole bunch of them now that I start looking right there. I've never really had nasturtiums reseed themselves, but they might if you're lucky. But this is what they look like when they, the little seed, what it looks like. And they're actually edible too, just like the rest of the plant. And then once they dry, they that one started drying a little bit, but they shrivel up and get really smaller, not a whole lot smaller, but get smaller and kind of just dried out. They just look like, you know, a dried out seed. That one's got a piece of the bloom still left on it. So I usually just take them inside and spread them out on a paper towel or a plate or something like that. Leave them kind of in the edge of the window or something in the kitchen until they dry, and then I store them for next year. You see, there's what they look like when they're still growing on the plant. There's like 3 of them together. Now that I move these back, you can see there's a whole bunch just laying on the ground. In the back of this bed, there's just a few onions left that we had planted. So I'm going to leave those. We're not going to pull them out. Next time I need onions, I'll remember, I hope, and come out here and pull them up then and use them. We're going to go ahead and clean out these pots too. Some flowers that we had that did so-so, but not as good as they have in the past, just because we had such a dry year. Some on this side too that needs to be cleaned out. You can see that these are calendula. They can stand a little bit of cold, so they don't look that bad. I might just try cutting them back and see what happens.
What about this? Pull it.
This can all be pulled out too.
All this?
Yeah.
All these?
Not, I see all of those. Start on those. Grow a potato. There you go. That's a pretty good potato.
Yeah, we need it.
That was one of the ones that we obviously missed that come back growing. There's a few in some of these others, Matt. You should check them and see if there is. There's a little bitty one.
Yeah.
Some of the ones we missed that
Down there.
re-sprouted and grew. That's a pretty good one though. Yeah, we'll eat them. Matt's finding potatoes under the ones that we'd forgot or missed somehow. We didn't forget them. And he's digging potatoes here. Only one or two. This is our herb bed, and you can see it's kind of disheveled, and the frost has already got a lot of it, so I guess we might as well go ahead and cut it back too while we're out here. I might leave some of the lemon balm though. I'm still using quite a bit of it. Of course, I could dry it too and use it that way, but it's awful nice just to be able to come out and use it fresh. Here's some of the bed of potato onions and shallots that we planted a few weeks ago. You can see they're coming up. There's our potato onions there. So hopefully that means we'll get a start of them here and they'll just continue to grow. I sure hope so. This bed desperately needs to be cleaned out. It needed to be cleaned out all summer long. This is our asparagus bed. As you can see though, it's got a lot of weeds in it. But look at all of see those red berries there? Those are the seeds for the asparagus. Well, I dropped that one. My hands are cold and my gloves are making me not be able to hold on to them, but there. So that's the seeds of the asparagus. So we do like to let them go to seed every year and fall back in this bed and hopefully, you know, grow more asparagus, but it desperately does need to be cleaned out. Maybe next year will be the year that I can do a better job of keeping it cleaned out. So after the asparagus, you know, the flush of asparagus in the spring, then it's easy to just forget about it. And then we have this, whatever it is that Corey planted many, many years ago, ages ago, and it's just terribly hard to get rid of. It goes by underground runners. It's one of those that's just terrible to try to eradicate. But maybe next year will be the year that I actually manage to keep it at bay. This work. This is another area that we had potatoes planted, and you want me to get you a little shovel or something, Matt?
I've got built-in shovels.
You've got built-in shovels? All right, your hands are tougher than mine. Anyway, we've already dug the potatoes here, but as you can see, we missed a few. And it's not that we probably missed any big ones, but even a little teeny tiny potato that you miss will then grow into a plant, and as you can see, produce potatoes. So that's pretty cool. This is our second planting of potatoes, but we didn't really plant them.
First time I ever dug them before Thanksgiving.
I know, yeah. we've about eat up all the ones that we did dig, and of course we didn't plant that. We don't grow enough to make it. That one's rotted. We don't grow enough to make it all through the winter ever, so that's not unusual that we would already be out by now. We have a few of the smallest little ones left. That's about all we have. But here will be enough already for a meal anyway, a mess. Another thing we've done inadvertently in the past, now Granny does it on purpose, but is to plant potatoes by planting your peelings.
That's good.
Oh, that's a great potato. By planting your peelings. We do it inadvertently because I've shared in videos how I like to drive Matt crazy. This time of the year I throw my scraps, sometimes the things that chickens won't eat, like the potato peelings, I'll just throw them on top of one of the beds and let them decompose right there. But then what happens sometimes is next spring, or you know, after the first of the year, I'll do that and a potato will grow. And we've had some pretty good potatoes grow that way, just growing from the peelings. Now Granny will save hers and go out, and especially in days gone by when she was more able, she would save all of her peelings and then go out and plant them. Just dig her a little hole here and there and plant the peelings, and most of the time she'd grow potatoes. Now again, not enough to, you know, feed your family for the entire year or anything, but just enough to have, you know, for at least one meal or something like that. You got a big one?
No, I flipped my fingernail backwards.
Oh.
Pretty.
Here's one more. Here's more. That's a big one. Good. Enough for supper, a big bowl of mashed potatoes. That's big enough to bake.
That for my chili thing.
Yeah, that'd be good. Matt's made us a big pot of chili. So, yeah, a baked potato and chili would be good. Hot chocolate's extra special when you've been cold. I got cold out there, my fingers and my toes, which of course I just had on my little rubber shoes. I guess you're used to it though. You didn't get cold.
Would be cold and hot any day.
Yeah, Matt doesn't like the heat.
I'm already getting hot sitting here next to the stove.
That's why I put you on the outside, but I guess you're already hot. It's nice to have the need for the wood stove. We started out with that really cold week, and then it went away, and we've had a summer since then. Seemed like it got a little cool at night, but during the day it was just warm. And this past week our cold weather's come back. I guess winter's finally arrived, so it's been nice. We've had real strong wind too though.
Yeah, it's blowed for 3 days. I think it's gonna finally lay down today. It's supposed to. It's not near as bad right now as it was this time yesterday.
Matt's enjoyed it while he's been hunting. He likes the cooler weather.
I don't much like the wind, but I still like it better in hot weather.
It's bad. The wind is always something you got to worry about. Of course, even though we're enjoying the cooler temperatures, it makes us worry about the people who are living in tents and,
yeah,
you know, I'd rather it be warm for them to not have to worry about that.
Yep.
It does seem encouraging on the number of organizations that are supplying the tiny houses and the campers and the sheds converted in, like converted sheds and all that, which I don't, I'm sure they've not reached everyone, but I know some people have been able to benefit from that, and I'm glad. It's just still so much, you just can't imagine. I can't myself imagine at all, because I've never seen anything like that, the destruction and the more and more stories coming out of the area. Someone from my blog shared that her sister's house was one of the ones that was lost, and I'm not exactly sure in North Carolina though, but that she had to swim. It just happened so fast, because the floods happen in places people like, I watched a video, I know y'all have watched a lot of them too, but the lady said, I was looking at the creek, and measuring it, not thinking that it was going to come from the other direction. And that was at a different place. It was in North Carolina too. But anyway, this lady, it just rose up so fast in her house that she had to literally go underwater and swim to try to find her way out. And praise the Lord, she got out. But she's an elderly lady, and she got real banged up, hurt her shoulder, hurt her legs, and but she did get out. But she lost her house, both vehicles gone, and I mean, I just can't imagine the devastation and destruction. And me and Matt both, when we see the places that we're familiar with in Western North Carolina, thinking of Haywood County and Buncombe, it's just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. We just can't believe.
And what's bad is to, and I'm sure this is a lot of those people. They worked all their life to get to where they are, and they've lost everything, and they're past the age of being able to work and get it back.
I know. Yeah, it'd be so devastating. So depressing and so disheartening to lose what you'd worked for your whole life, and it just be gone. And in many cases, it literally is just gone. There's just no sign of it. You see the foundation and the steps, but there's no house, nowhere to be seen, no vehicle to be seen. And just please continue to remember them all in your prayer. And it seems impossible when I think about it and talk about it, but God's the God of impossibilities. That's what it is. He's a mighty God, and He can help all of them. I just pray for their financial resources, their guidance on what to do. Like Matt said, do they start over? Do they just completely start over right there where they were at? Do they move somewhere else? What do they do? And of course, the peace and comfort for them, the people that have lost loved ones, and even the trauma of just losing your stuff. Just your home. And we all know material things is not like our lives, but still, I can't imagine losing my whole home if I lost it to fire or a flood or whatever.
Right.
It'd
be horrible.
Yeah. There are a lot of people still helping and doing good works, and please support them when you can. I say it's free for everybody to pray, though, so you can pray. I know a lot of people have financial restrictions, and then I know a lot of people have just commitments that they can't just go and volunteer, or they're elderly or whatever, or in poor health, whatever that might be. But we can all pray. But there are still a lot of people helping, and I'm so thankful for them, for everyone that's helped. And Deep River Farm, that's a channel I've shared over and over and over, but if you watch his videos, you can listen to what he says, but look in his descriptions too. He's got all the information right there. I shared in a recent video, and I can put it in the description for this video, and I'll put his link too. But Katie had found on Facebook, it's a private group, so you'd have to join it, but it's to help people. People are just posting their needs, and then, especially thinking about Christmas and Thanksgiving and those things. So, and of course, there's still the Samaritan's Purse, North Carolina Baptist, the Cajun Navy. There's just so many different ones that are still right there helping.
U.S. Men's Academy.
U.S. Men's Academy, yeah. Yeah, so This is the time of the year, though, that we, you look forward to, thinking about Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I am, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful. But I guess there's part of me still feels a little bit guilty that they're not able to do that.
Right.
We are getting ready for Thanksgiving, though. Thinking about it, it's coming up this week. Getting ready for that.
Yeah.
We host everybody here at our house, and that'll be nice to have everybody together and have a lot of good food to eat. Everybody pitches in with that. We cook, but my sister-in-law Kim does a lot. Of course, Granny brings some stuff, and the girls, and my niece, and my nephew's wife, and it just turns out to be a real good day, doesn't it?
It does. I'm trying to do some dietary exercises between now and then.
You're stocking up or
No.
slimming down so then you can stock up when it gets
I'm
here.
trying to hold back a little, as crazy as that seems, so that on Thanksgiving Day I can just get ignorant.
Yeah. I think that's what Paul used to do. He'd like
Yeah,
go on
he
a
did.
fast for 2 days
Yeah.
till it got here so he could eat
Yeah.
a lot. In the old days, of course, when me and Matt was first married, we always eat at Pap and Granny's every year. We'd take just everybody gather there, and just when Granny, I don't know, what have we been eating up here, about 5 years or something like that. It just got to be too much on Granny, was having to, people come and you want to straighten up and make sure everything's tidy and all that. And I said, you could do it at my house, and you just have to ride and get out, just drive up the hill and get out. So we've been doing it up here, but in those days, Matt often would deep fry our turkey. We ain't done that in many years.
No, it's been a long time. I'd kind of like to have another one, but
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody else would like it like I do, so we just don't.
Daddy did.
Yeah, he loved it.
He loved it, yeah.
That's
He loved it.
That's how. Once I made one and I seen how much he liked it, that's why we did it that way for a little while.
And we did for several years,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's, and to me, that's the only way I like it. I'm not a big turkey kind of guy to begin with, but if I'm gonna eat it, that's the way I want to eat it.
For many years, Miss Cindy, once she moved out here, and she of course come to all the Thanksgiving, she would bring a ham. And last year, I guess, was the first year, was it, without her? And my sister-in-law Kim said, "You want me to bring a ham?" I said, "That would be wonderful." So she brought one. Everybody loved it. And so this year I was hoping she would do the same thing, and she did. So I would say that from now on, Kim will bring the ham. But I was so glad she took over. And she really loved Miss Cindy, so I know that was probably part of why she wanted to do that. And Matt makes a deer ham. I think that's Paul's favorite. We like all of it, though, but Matt's deer ham's always a big hit.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
For us, it's part of all of those, you think about, the smells always are tied to your memories, but the deer ham, because Matt puts it in the night before, so many of our memories, and Corey and Katie's especially, are tied to that getting up and that aroma being in the house.
Yeah, Thanksgiving and Christmas both.
Yeah, both of them. Katie and Corey both, they say that's just, that smell instantly reminds them of Christmas. And we really don't eat that very often.
No, just those 2 times a year.
We
and
eat a
that's
lot
it.
of deer meat, but we really don't do that roast. That's why I think Katie and Corey both say that just is tied to their memories, because at Christmas and at Thanksgiving, it's like I tease and say I was an adult before I realized you could have turkey other times of the year. Because we never eat it except at Christmas and Thanksgiving. That was it. That was the only 2 times of the year that we ate turkey. No other times. When I met Matt and married Matt, and he was a turkey hunter. He don't turkey hunt as much now, but we would eat that turkey, But that's different. We wouldn't do it like a Thanksgiving turkey. We usually deep fried that.
Right.
What did you and Papa used to do when you was little? You'd go to Laura's for your grandmother's for Thanksgiving?
It seems like it, yeah. I mean, I almost can't remember, but I remember eating up there some for Thanksgiving. And then I think after she died that we'd just cook something at home, or a great deal of the time. Once she passed away, we were down there deer hunting during that time, so we just ate. Sometimes we'd do turkey and dressing, or buy a big chicken. I'd rather have chicken than turkey anyway, and eat that, or sometimes we'd just eat just whatever. You know, we didn't do a big Thanksgiving meal. We'd just eat. A lot of times if we had fresh deer meat, we'd eat that.
Yeah, you used lots of times you'd be, because you didn't get much time off from work. You'd be at deer camp.
Right. And now I don't do that. I stay. Now, even before I quit work, I would be here at Thanksgiving once, to be here with the kids and the family. There was a time or two here and there, I think, in the last 20 or 25 years that I was gone at Thanksgiving, but I ain't like that, so I'd rather be here.
You'd even come home like the day before, or go leave right after Thanksgiving or something. Yeah,
I'd rather be with the family during those holidays. And now, of course, we don't do it every year now.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's coming so late this year that it's just one more week, usually how it falls, but still it's the later Thanksgiving. So right after that will be December will be here. I don't even know where this whole entire year went. But that's the older, I said that last year too, though, the older I get, the faster it goes. But then we'll have to start thinking about Christmas, which will be really exciting at our house this year. Not that the boys are too little to even understand or know. They won't have no memory of it, but it'll be different, in other words, with them. And we're already thinking about with a tree, what to do about a tree and where to put it and all those kind of things.
We put one somewhere.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a tree.
We will, yeah. And of course, people say, well, why do you even say that? You make your kids stay out of it. We know that. We made our kids stay out of it. We understand that part. But too, you just want to make it where you're easier on you as you can. Easier, especially at mine and Matt's age. It's easy as you can. It'll be a very exciting time, though, for sure.
It will.
Next year there'll be even more because they'll be better able to understand.
The next few years will
be
even more fun than this one.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I'm excited for them boys to get some teeth,
so
that we can start giving them some different kind of foods and seeing the reaction, and the holiday foods and that sort of thing. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. It's fun to see even our little great nieces when they come and see them eating and see what they like and what they don't like. They like my rolls a lot. Everybody likes my rolls, so the rolls are even a hit with the little girls.
Yeah, they stuff their pockets full.
Yeah, when they leave, they take some with them. Yeah, they're really sweet. Talking about as fast as time goes, it's crazy to think about. It is strange for us to dig potatoes, which wasn't very many, and it was the ones that are left over from this year's planting. But strange to be digging them, though, this time of the end of November here. Yeah, it's strange.
And it was also weird to be picking beans in October, too, but we was.
So
and tomatoes.
Yeah. So, of course, we're already thinking about next year's gardening. And it's funny, a lot of the plans we have, which our number one plan is Matt's shed. That's got to be built, even if nothing else happens. But we have the plans of the irrigating the garden and irrigating up here just in case we had another dry weather. Now, we may not get all that done. The shed's got to get done. But when you start thinking about those, like during the summer, you're like, we'll have, Matt, we'll have all winter. We'll have all winter to work on all that stuff. Yeah. Cutting the trees down there, that's got to get done too.
Yeah, just sneak up.
But now here it is. You're like, well, this is going to be like the 1st of December, and then December will be gone before you know it. Then it'll be January. Then you'll really start thinking about, So then you're like, I thought I was going to have all this time to do all this garden stuff. I'm not sure I am.
Well, my problem is I have no motivation to do anything until I get done hunting.
I know
and there's
that.
Another month of that.
I know. So, but still, I'm just saying how fast time goes by. Before you know it, we'll be talking about because I like to plant our carrots in February, end of February. So it's just, before you know it, time goes so fast.
Did you ever dig in carrots we got out there?
Yeah,
Was they a bunch?
we've been eating them. That was in your beef stew that you ate the other night.
Where
Your
was I
oven
at
stew.
when they got dug?
Well, you wasn't with me. I've just been going out there and pulling them up as I needed them.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've been eating them. They're almost all gone. The parsnips are still out there, but the parsnips are very woody. They're not very good at all. They're very, very woody. So I don't know if that's because I left them too long, if that's because the dryness of the summer. This is the first time we've ever managed to grow parsnips, though, so I'm glad about that, but they're not very good.
I don't much like them anyway.
Well, I really wanted to grow them, though, because Katie and Corey really love them. They make this stew that, what's it got, chicken and parsnips and carrots, and they really, really love it. It's okay. I can take it or leave it. I can take, in the beginning they used to put chickpeas in it, and I think maybe Katie didn't like them, or maybe it was Corey. I don't know. They quit doing that.
It's kind of like eating a wet paper towel.
I liked the chickpeas in it better. But Katie and Corey are just crazy about it. And Corey learned how to make it, I think, in a class at the John C. Campbell Folk School. Anyway, so therefore, since they like that, they like to put parsnips in their, any kind of, like, roasted and stuff like that. So that's why I wanted to grow them. Granny tells about her, and I've never made it, but I need to get Granny to make it or show me or give me the recipe. But her Aunt Susie made parsnip bread all the time and really loved it. So
I haven't heard of that.
yeah, we need to try that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to grow some better parsnips, though.
Yeah, that or rent a wood chipper to process
to get them done, get them chopped up.
Yeah.
But talking about gardening, what I meant to say, what I was going to say to begin with, is we do have our almanac calendars available if you're interested in one of them, and I'll put that link in the description below. And another thing we have is our mugs. We have the mugs back in stock. Let's see, I think both of the ones we've got today are Rob mugs. These are old ones that we've had forever. But the ones that we've been selling have the Celebrating Appalachia. So, and I'll be listing more every Sunday until they're gone. So every Sunday you could be, if you miss them, and if you're interested, you can be on the lookout for them. But time does go by so fast. I've heard that in the first part of your life it seems to go so slow because you're constantly learning and learning and learning, and then at some point, not that we shouldn't still learn, we do, but that's part of it, what makes it seem like it's so slow to begin with. You remember when you were little, it's like the summer, the day you got out of school, it just stretched out forever until you had to go back to school, and it really did seem like it. And then you got to be like, I don't know, 20-something, and you're like, it was summer. I went to the lake once, and that was it, or something. Like I didn't even get to do anything. What happened? It just went by so fast. There's your Puma cat, your basement Puma. Is that what you call him?
That's him. Easy now.
Already attacking.
He's hateful.
Okay,
He's looking for something to bite.
Yeah. Always. He's always in a playful mood. It's another weird thing. Who'd thought we'd ever have a cat?
That is one of the weirdest things that has ever happened in my lifetime.
That's one of the lessons they say, never say never, which I've learned that a lot in my life. I've been taught that myself, never say never. But that's definitely one of them too. Never say never, and now we have a cat.
Yeah, I would have never ever believed that. But here we are.
And that's one of the things, if Miss Cindy could know, that she would laugh about. Because she was a cat person, a cat lady.
And she knew that I was not, and we were not, and we never had one, and it was just established.
Yeah.
And now, if she could see this whole operation with this cat, she would really get a kick out of that, and she would laugh at me daily.
She would, yeah, she would. And she'd probably have to say, I told you. I told you they were really great. You should have listened to me back when you were a small kid and tried to torment mine.
Yeah, I'm still a dog guy all the way, but I mean, there's something about this cat that I like. So And I hated seeing him.
He just come at a perfect time with the kind of upheaval in our life.
Right.
With Cindy and a lot of different stuff going on and all that. Yeah.
And he was wild and feral, and I don't know what went with the rest of them, but that happened right there's got it made.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Well, there's some of them are still at night. Katie still sees, not any of the, just one she still sees at night. Sometimes when she's working, she'll see him go by the window.
Right.
She called, you might have heard her in her videos talk about him, Mushmouth.
Yeah, he's a funny looking
And I don't know that he had anything to do with
I don't know.
Binks or not. I don't know. There's never been many cats here in Wilson Holler. And one reason is because I guess people wasn't cat people, like Matt says, but then two, some of my little cousins had them sometimes, but there were so many hound dogs, it just didn't go well usually with the cats.
And keep them run off.
Keep them, yeah, so. I think getting out in the cold will really make us sleep good tonight. What do you think? Which I don't have no problem sleeping good at night anyway.
If that's the case, I would be asleep right now.
Yeah, you've been
I've
out
been
all
out any day all day. And I may go back this evening.
When I got up this morning, Matt was gone.
It's cold this morning. It was probably 36 or so, 37, but there was about a 10 or 15 mile an hour wind that blew non-stop. And that's pretty cold when you're sitting still. I mean, I've hunted a lot colder, but that wind makes it
feel.
Yeah, you can feel it all over.
It's like a cut and cuts you.
And you got to put so many clothes on, you can't hardly get around. But I made it all right. I've always, I mean, for many years, I've known about the little hot hands things. And I've never used them just simply because it just seems like a pain to have to keep them from the ones you don't use next year. But you got to keep them in date so that they work. And it's just a pain. But I've figured out that they do pretty good. And I can stand really, really bad cold weather, except for my hands and my feet. And I don't know why that is. But it's just the way it is. My hands and feet hurt really bad if they get cold, and I can't get them warm, and it's just a miserable time. So I've started using the hot hands a little bit, and it helped a whole lot this morning. I guess there's other kind of gloves and garments and whatever that'll keep you warm, but I generally just wear a little cheap thin, like a Army surplus wool, like a mitten liner, and then a pair of cheap cotton jersey gloves over top of that. And I've done that for 30 years just because it's cheap and easy. But it don't keep me warm on these cold days unless I'm using those hot hands or something. So I've kind of took to doing that.
Matt has trouble with gloves because of his little finger.
Yeah, I have trouble getting them on.
Yeah. So
that's about the only time I even notice my little finger is just trying to get a glove on. And then if you layer gloves, it's even more difficult trying to get all that up and over my little crooked finger there.
And he was born like that, if you've missed that in some of our videos. Several people in his family, several men, no women, right?
I don't think there's any women, but it's all me. It's all the ones I know of are men.
Men have that to varying degrees.
Yeah.
One or the other, or both, or.
Yeah, and my grandpa had it. He had it. His whole left hand was that way.
And you can have it. People in either past videos, when somebody's noticed it, they say, well, you can have it fixed. You probably could have, but Matt said it never really bothered him, so he never thought about having it fixed. That was the only time he even thinks about it, like he said, was when it comes to gloves. But other than that, it never was a hindrance.
They were going to have it. They took me to the doctor to get it fixed, and the doctor said it would be better to wait till I was grown. And then it would be quite simple to fix. And once I got grown, I said, no, I'm not doing that.
I don't think nobody else in your family had theirs fixed, did they?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Yeah.
It's just a slight defect.
Of Corey had an extra. We'll have to tell Corey's about her. I don't know if it had anything to do with Matt's finger, because it wasn't like that, but Corey had an extra finger.
Yeah.
Had an extra finger. I called it her Halloween finger.
Yeah, I called it her freak finger.
Yeah. It was on the side of her hand, and I don't remember now which hand it was, but it wasn't like a fully formed finger, I guess you would say, and they to get rid of it, they just tied what do you call that, like a
just tied a little
suture around it
to stop the blood going to it. It didn't have a bone, and it wasn't attached to any bone.
Had a fingernail though.
It did have a nail,
Yeah,
but it was just like a skin tag.
Yeah.
And they just tied it and wrapped it to stop the blood flow to it, and it eventually fell off.
Yeah, but that's the part, we had to wait for it to fall off, like the belly button, like you do the belly button, but this took much longer, so that's why I called it they were born in September, and I think it was like November before it finally come off.
I tried to pull it off
yeah,
one
she
time,
screamed.
and she went wild.
Yeah, she was just little, but I mean, she was just an infant, but
Right.
I was like, Matt! But it was pretty disgusting.
Yeah, it was.
But now she just has, it's just like a little bump there, but it's funny, she says if she hits it somehow, I mean, she's just known that her whole life, that it really hurts if something hits right on that little knot, that it really hurts her whole hand. It's just strange.
Yeah. We're a weird bunch.
Yeah, we're a weird bunch, we are. That's all right. Just, what does Popeye say? I am.
I am what I am.
Yeah, that's all we could say. We are who we are.
Right.
Weirdness and all.
Yep.
And we're always glad when you stop by to help us celebrate Appalachia. Piece of chocolate pie. You're trying to cut back for Thanksgiving, though, you said. Does that mean I can eat the rest of the pie by myself? No.
Ain't no cutting back on the chocolate pie.
I know.
Gosh, that stuff's good.
I should have brought a
How come we
piece
don't
down
make
here.
that anymore?
I
love that
I
stuff.
don't think about it. I mean, I don't know.
Or let me rephrase that. How come you don't make it anymore? I can't make it. I'm not.
I really
I'm not a
like.
cake maker.
I like. That's one of the comfort desserts is the cream pies like that. I loved it when when I was little. She'd make a chocolate one and a butterscotch one.
You know, I've always liked the cheesecakes and stuff, but I believe I like that better.
It's really good.
It's really
my
good.
Aunt Faye's recipe. But I was going to make the butterscotch. I like the chocolate, but I like the butterscotch. But then you said you wanted chocolate.
I think I like the chocolate one better, but I do like the butterscotch.
They're both good. I need to do like Mama and make one of each, which we don't eat as much because the girls won't eat it. If Austin was here, he'd eat, but she'd make two and they'd just be gone in no time. We'd eat them up. That was Steve and Paul and Daddy. Bigger appetites than Katie and Corey.
I've got a pretty big appetite now that I'm climbing up and down the mountain pretty regular. And it's getting cold and trying to stay warm, somehow or another that takes it out of me. It makes me tired and it makes me hungry.
And it makes me sleep good. That's why I should make myself every day in winter go outside and sit for 40 minutes or work.
I'll make a deal with you and this will work.
What?
Every time I kill a deer, I'll come down here and get you, and you can drag it home for me.
Okay.
And that will get your exercise, and that will get my deer brought home.
It would. That would be. I don't know if I could do it though. If I had to go up any hills, I might just shove it this way, especially on your little sled thing. It'd just be.
I found out about that sled.
You don't like it?
That's for flatland use.
Oh yeah, flatland. I believe that.
That thing worked me. I didn't use it to get a deer out, but I used it to haul off a carcass, and that thing worked me to death. So.
Yeah. Works better when it's flat, not on the side of a goat bluff.
The very easiest thing to do is to carry a pack in a game bag or a big trash bag and cut it up and pack it out.
Yeah.
Put it on your back and walk out with it. It's way easier than dragging, no matter how you drag it.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what I ought to start doing, is all of them.
We need a little cot down here and I can just take a nap now.
It's about to make me sick. I'm so hot.
You can't even feel it. I can barely. I mean, that's just one side of me that can feel it.
Burning absolutely alive.
Probably should go gotta do something thinking about Thanksgiving.
Meaning?
We'll make the harmony tomorrow.
So we're going to use both those 2 tables upstairs for this event, correct?
If we can,
and that'll be good. That way we don't have to use the Mad Max table anymore.
Yeah. 1975.
Yeah.
Industrial complex.
Yeah.
Waste dump table.
Yeah. The 1974 chemical plant table.
Yeah, we could use those. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be cold. Or I think it's supposed to be rainy. I seen it was supposed to rain.
Yeah, it's Thursday. It's supposed to
So I
be
was
like a
thinking
cold rain.
You could put one outside, you know, but then you can't if it's raining.
Why would we put one outside?
I mean, just if they didn't fit both in the kitchen, like to have people a place to sit.
No, we'll just start out with one of them.
We could put one right in the middle of the living room too, though. Yeah. Ooh. Let's see how many people show up. We have a house full. We'll have a house full if just the regular people, attendees come, but usually there's stragglers here and there, and they come too, so, which is nice. I like it like that.
Yeah. We'll feed them too.
More the merrier. You gotta help me remember to get the turkeys from Granny.
Right. I've already reminded you of that once.
I know, but when should I? I just figured I'd go get them the day I'm gonna lay them out. Will that be Tuesday?
How big are they?
They're not real big. One's like 14 pounds or something, and one's 8 pounds or something. I don't know. Kim said she had one too. It's at Ben's house. I could get it, but then I started to tell him to bring it, but then I thought, nah. I mean, he'd probably come to Mama's tomorrow, but maybe those she's got and the ham and the turkey. I mean, and the deer. That'll be good. It'll be enough.
I mean, yeah, it always is. We've always got a bunch of food left over.
Yeah. Leftovers for days.
Huh?
Leftovers for days. That's what I like.
Yeah.